Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties. We'll be starting in just a second, guys. All right, here we go. All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Sorry about that slight technical difficulty right there. Woo! All right. Forgot for a second I had to turn the good old VPN off, and that killed the transmission, and YouTube apparently doesn't like how I do events, so it automatically canceled and created the new one. So hopefully you guys see that and switched over to the live stream as I see some of you are doing. Good, fantastic, awesome. We'll continue on with the show. All right. So let's get into it. Every time, that's a great start to the stream. Great start to the stream, guys. Not a problem. So hope you guys are doing well this morning. Let me pull open the chat here. Make sure that I'm not going to miss anything. All right, let's see here. Scott, how are we doing this morning? Thank you for moderating as always. Jürgen Ernst, how are we doing, man? Joey Rocket Cryptos, how you doing, brother? All right, guys, let's get into it. Today we've got a pretty exciting day in the market. Yesterday, let's just do a recap of where I'm currently sitting right now. So we've gone over this a little bit yesterday. I initially entered into about 10% of the position size that I want to allocate to this long for BTC, XBT. At 3,500, I doubled up again at 3,330. I had a buy set at 3,100. Current buy still set at 3,100 and 3,200 because only 25% of my buy got filled at 3,200. And then again, taking profit on the way up, took some profit again at 3,350. And then again at 3,500. And now just right back in that order block, that area of consolidation that we were talking about yesterday, guys. Fairly low volume day as opposed to yesterday. Obviously, we had that pretty crazy pump yesterday. We were live on the stream, guys. For that, we're able to capture that for you guys. Bringing it live, man. Bringing it live. Tamas, how we doing, man? So that's what we're looking at today. My position hasn't changed whatsoever. If we fall back down to 3,200, 3,100, I will again get my orders filled. I'll begin reducing risk at 3,000 and 2,850. Long-term outlook for the market hasn't really changed. Just looking at XBT USD right here. Still expecting upward targets here of 3,700, 3,800, and I'd like to drink beers with you guys up here at 4K. However, that's the upside potential. The downside potential, on the other hand, is 2,900, the number everybody was really talking about. I don't really think that's a thing. But below that, we fall into our confusing, uncertain, amorphous order block of 2,843 to 2,378. And again, as we get there, if we get there, which I think eventually we probably will get there, if we do get there, we will geographize that area when we get down there at the moment, guys. So current price targets still stand. Current position still stands, guys. Now, looking over at Ethereum. Looking over at Ethereum real quick. Ethereum actually looks kind of interesting to me. So I actually, and I didn't recommend it, but I picked up a little bit for a long position, and I'm thinking that I'm going to enter into a long here. Looking at areas like $83 and $80 to start scaling into, and potentially reducing my risk at 76. I just think that I think it's time for a little bit of a movement here from ETH, and I'm not certain that the price is going to continue to go down at this point. I'm actually feeling a little positive about ETH, and that pains me to say. I know it pains me to say that, guys. But I actually think we could break back up into this upper channel area and retest this descending trend line, actually. That would require breaking up above $100. So right now, if you are in a short position, $100 would be my reduced risk level. Looking at, obviously, we yesterday... so the positions that we had taken is actually, I had bought a little bit of a short at $85 actually, and that played against me. And then I added again at $98 and $96, and I took some profit right here just now, right before the stream actually. We're in this sideways period of what looks to me potentially accumulation right around the daily point of control and right above, hovering above yesterday's value area, which is really good to me because yesterday's value area is going to become support if this area is to hold. So again, forming a higher low, and if the bulls are able to hold this level, then I am expecting actually the price can actually make a nice little bounce back up here. Again, we have current resistance at $100 on BitMEX, and again, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm actually interested in potentially switching into a long. Let's see here. Daniel, good morning to you. Is it time to buy yet? Joey V asks. Again, I've been buying spot price the whole way down, man. Nit and Soki, not the whole way down, but starting at 5K, starting at 3K, and again at starting at 5, 4, and 3, I've been averaging again into my spot position. Soki, hi, I think we would probably fall and liquidate the rise at this time. Can you check the shorts versus longs? Yeah, man, I always check the shorts versus longs. And that potential is always on the face of the map, as always, but I'm still banking on this upward move right here. Gabriel, happy Saturday. Good morning to you, you trumpeting satyr you. Looking at Ripple, I'm actually interested. Again, I've only got a few scalps actually set on the table that I've shared with the members today. Let's hide that, or they're not going to want to be in the members group anymore. Sorry about that. Just looking at potential scalps, I think that I'm not really confident about a long-term position here in Ripple, so I'll just continue to scalp it. The last good position that we had in Ripple was this long right here, where we hit 2 of our 3 take profit targets right here, and then we fell down and bounced off all 3 levels of support that I had charted out right here. So we currently have support down below us at 86.22, 85.76, and 85.30 on BitMEX currently right now. And we're really just dealing back inside the order block between the order block between 88.70 and 88.44 is the area that I'm kind of potentially looking in and interested in. Now, this is interesting. We did have this nice spike up yesterday, and we fell back down, and we're seeing the exact same thing, although in a smaller area. We are actually seeing the value area from yesterday act as support. And we have established a new value area today. We see we're just kind of consolidating around the point of control after this movement back down. This actually says more long potential to me, but I'm just going to take potential scalps on the way up if we do move up that way. So let's go take a look in at spot price, guys. So yeah, nothing really that surprises me here. We did fall down to that 33.50 area that I was talking about quite at length for quite a while, guys. Broke through all these 4 order blocks. Then obviously we had that crash. Fell down to 33.50, and we have not really been able to break that level yet. We did wick down to 3,200, almost 3,200 on spot price here on Bitstamp, but we had that immediate recovery. That was the pump that we caught on the stream, and we've just moved into the sideways period of consolidation. Now, not exactly sure what this is going to look like. I know some people are calling this a pennant. Some people are calling this a bear flag. Some people are calling this whatever. I don't see any of that shit right now, honestly. And again, I apologize for cursing. This is supposed to be a family-friendly show. But yes, on spot price, we still have that downwards target of 28.95, potentially 2,900. Again, I'm starting less to believe that 2,900 is a thing. I think if we break 3K, 28.95 to 26.59 right here on spot price are the areas that are interesting to me right now. Let's go take a look at the daily chart. And throw on Mr. Logarithmic, and we can just pull back up the long-term view that I've had on this trade for a while on BTC for a Bitstamp. All right, so we did break out of the trading range that we were in from 44.21 to 35.42, wick down to that 35 level of support, and you can see the weekly has not closed below it. The weekly did wick down to the 200 period simple moving average that I've been talking about for a while. We are below the 2015 logarithmic trend line right now. If the weekly closes below this, it doesn't look fantastic. Probably a little bit of sideways action here, which again was fine because that would still not invalidate a movement back up to about 4K. That would still probably keep us underneath the logarithmic trend line here on spot price, and we'll just see if the weekly can break back up into that trading range, or if we're going to hang out here at 33.50 and potentially close below 33.50, and then we'll be in wheelchair area. If we actually close below the 200 simple moving average as well, then we'll actually probably be going to 28.95, 26.59 with some key areas there at 27.04 and 25.02. So that hasn't changed at all. Nothing really has changed here, except that we are experiencing a more bearish weekly candle. So we'll see if this, we'll see how the bulls play out. We are seeing some wicking. We've got a few more days. We've got today and tomorrow until the weekly candle closes. So we've got about 24 plus 7 hours, so about 31 hours until the weekly candle closes. And we'll just see how that closes. Looking at the daily here, looking at the daily actually looks a little bit better. The daily actually looks a little bit more like a potential reversal. We get this nice little indecision / hammer candle right here. And then we also get this nice little reverse hammer candle right here on today's daily on Bitstamp. So this actually looks pretty good. And I think that we can probably look for a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a recovery from this pretty volatile movement right down. This doesn't look like, if this was going to be legitimate breakdown volume, we see the large bullish selling volume on this particular candle. If this was legitimate breakdown volume from support, then this would not be a hammer candle. This would actually be probably a full-bodied bearish engulfing candle. As this one was, this to me is starting to look like oversold volume. So, and we actually have that confirmed today by today's very low volume indecision candle. Again, we have about 7 hours until the daily candle closes. So we'll really see kind of what happens with this daily candle close. We are going to close lower than yesterday's candle. We weren't actually able to pierce above yesterday's high, even with the high of today. But again, I see the falling momentum, and unless the bearish volume really picks up here, this is actually looking like we could get a little bit of recovery, potentially a bounce between 3,600 and 3,350 right here, playing between the current order block that we broke down from, which was our last period of support, and the current level of support that we've established here at 3,350. Have not been able to close a daily candle below that, and you can see the interest right there. So that hasn't really changed at all. Now we are in the danger zone because we're very close to my wheelchair area, guys. We're very close to Wreck City. But I think that it's not going to happen probably today, and I think we can probably expect a little bit of, at the very least, sideways motion. Excuse my French says, bro, you speak too fast. It's stressing me out. Sorry, man. Sorry. You know, I don't always drink coffee, but when I do, I drink it out of my Kraken Crypto Hodl mug. Just so much to cover, man. There's so much excitement. There's so much action. 10% in an hour. All right, we'll try to slow it down here a little bit. Yeah, sorry. Now, looking at the charts, guys, I'm thinking that things are starting to look pretty exciting, guys. Starting to look pretty positive. Let's check in and see. 46 on YouTube, 3 on Twitch, guys. Thank you so much for following. This is a little early in the show, but if this is your first time to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We highly appreciate the support. And click that notification bell. Why would you click that notification bell, you ask? Well, because we're here live every single morning at noon Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, if you're rocking it in the Midwest, as we are. And if you are a returning viewer, guys, make sure to smash that like button 2018 style. We highly appreciate it, guys. Lots to cover. A bunch of people, not me, listen on high speed to crypto streams. At least you haven't gone chipmunk, man. All right, so where is our current resistance, we get asked? All right, well, current resistance is going to be this previous order block, as we can see right here. So we have resistance right here, buddy. Turn on, nope, magnet mode. Get out of here. Stop. Oh, my dear Lord. So we've got resistance at 34.74 on Bitstamp right now. Have not been able to successfully close above that. We can actually see where price actually went to, which is the bottom of this wick. So that's going to also act as strong support, or excuse me, strong resistance. We've found where the bears are hiding. 35.48, 34.74 are going to act as the current levels of resistance right now for wicks if you're looking to take scalps. And in general, for full body candle closes, we're looking at this order block area of 35.40 to 3,500. So about a $50 range. Let's call it 3,500 to 3,550 is going to act as our current support on spot price. However, I think if we break above that, again, that's a LVN area. And then we've got our overlying resistance above that around 3,600 to 3,700. With probably a key area that I'd like to point out at 36.12. So 3,600 probably the most significant area of full bottle candy close resistance, above 3,500 to 3,550. You shorted last night at the bottom. Shorting at the bottom, that's a no-no, man. We don't short at the bottom, we long at the bottom, we short at the top. Again, that depends on what your perspective is and actually where your profit targets are and where you're looking to reduce risk. So for Ethereum, looking here, nothing really drastic. You know, again, I've been talking about this for a while. We did fall below into my projected target area of, let's see here, about $85 on spot price here for Ethereum dollar on Bitfinex. This is the order block area where I said we would fall down into after we were able to break $100. We did fall down to that. We did fall down to that level. We did hit $85 on spot price here on Bitfinex. And now we're just entering back into this order block area between $95 and $85, where I said we would see a period of consolidation. And we'll see how this order block area plays out. But again, looking even on spot price, we have established a higher low if the bulls are able to hold this level. We were able to come up and test the 21 period moving average here on the 4-hour chart, get a little bit of resistance from that. Now I know, again, some people are looking at this as a falling wedge pattern. Turn magnet mode. I don't. Yeah, I don't really think I agree with that whatsoever, because you'd have to go candle body closes at the bottom and wicks on the top. Although we do have the third touch of that trend line signifying a false breakout, which as Hayden has pointed out to me is very common. So again, I don't really feel confident in that movement, but if we take the measured move from it just for giggles, that's a $22 measured move. So a move to the upside, let's say we break out here, would put us, let's see, $22 would put us at about $128, which is fairly congruent with my upper level of resistance here at $135 to $140. And a breakdown would actually put us $22 in the tank, would put us at $66. However, I don't think there's any support there. Again, my downward target is $50, which I think Ethereum will probably eventually hit. Although looking at how the volume is actually playing out on today's candle, looking at today's current price action, this is actually starting to look a little bit more bullish to me. Again, the thing that I want to see is if this trend line is valid, which I'm not really sure that it is. We'll see if the bulls are able to hold this level. But again, I think that most likely we're going to experience some sideways consolidation in this order block area before we either break to the upside above 95 or break to the downside at 85. So if you're in a short position, I'd be reducing my risk between $95 and $100. And for me, I think it's probably a good time to potentially look at stacking up along. So I think that I'm going to target areas of $83 and $80, as I went over earlier, and potentially looking at reducing my risk at $76. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. We'll see what price does from this period, from this current point of control on the daily session. But we see the rise in bullish volume and the drop in ATR. This means we're probably going to get a movement here. And I am actually expecting this movement to potentially be to the upside eventually, although never rule out the idea of a stop loss hunt. That's why I've set my buys at 83 and 80. Foreshadowing potentially a stop loss hunt and a wick hunt down to these lower areas. Three weeks later, wick to 6K. Entered my short at 34.31 and a stop at 35.20. Bad idea. Entered my short at 34.31. So you shorted up here. No, that was a good idea, man. That was a good idea. But I think that at this point in time, I definitely take a little bit of profit, and I definitely set your stop loss in a no loss zone. Unless you're looking to play this for the long term, which if you think that we're going down, that's absolutely fine. I actually think that we're going to get some upside potential here. But again, my order hasn't changed. I've got buys at 3,200 and 3,100, reducing risk at 3,000 and 2,850. And I've got my upside potential targets of, as I said, 3,500, 3,600, 3,700, 3,800, and 4K. So we'll see who plays out. But yeah, I'd definitely be taking a little bit of profit at this point in time, and probably reducing your stop loss or increasing your stop loss to your no loss zone now that you're in a profitable position, because it's a volatile ass market, man. I went to long at 35.20 if it rises to it. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad breakout trade for me. That breakout would actually probably occur at 34.30, and I'd be targeting 3,500 and 3,550. I think that would be the better breakout trade. Although potentially looking to, if we get rejection from 34.50, from this point of control, actually it's at 34.24, so 34.25, 34.30. I'd actually potentially be looking to take a short scalp from that area, at least from 34.30 to 3400. That's a good little 10x scalp. I'd be fairly confident with that. But yeah, establishing a higher low on the on today's session, and we'll just see kind of what happens, guys. We'll just see kind of what happens. So we've got some interesting news to go over here today, guys. And then I'm going to look at the longs and shorts, but first I kind of want to go over the news, guys. So this is something that I think is very important for us to talk about, and this is crypto time, cryptocurrency, and taxes, guys. Now, I know you guys do not like paying taxes. Nobody likes paying taxes, but being prudent in your taxing and paying your taxes, I think, is going to keep Big Brother off your butt. So, for those of you who don't know a whole lot, let's go into this a little bit. So this is a really good article from Coin Central on how to calculate Bitcoin and cryptocurrency losses. I'll pop this in the chat, and if I remember, it will be in the description section down below. All right, so nobody likes paying their goddamn taxes, but taking care of it in a timely manner will help keep Big Brother off your butt. If you have held Bitcoin for less than a year, then it is a short-term capital gain or loss. If you bought Bitcoin within a year and then sold it within a year, that's going to be considered a short-term capital loss or gain, depending on whether you profited or whether you lost money. So the IRS does permit you to offset short-term gains or short-term losses against your The IRS does permit you to offset your short-term losses against your short-term capital gains up to a maximum of $3,000 per year. If you have no short-term gains and only short-term losses, you can still deduct them on your federal 1040 form. So this is what's kind of really upset me about like people out there giving, in my opinion, like really misleading information on paying their taxes, guys. Like for those of you who have not had experience in traditional equities or Forex, like you can deduct losses on your tax form as capital losses, guys. It's not like people are like, man, if you bought Bitcoin at 10K and sold at 5K, you get taxed 5K. It's stupid, dude. Like that's not how it works. That's not how it's ever worked. Okay. You deduct losses. And there's different categories. Short-term losses, anything with less than a year. Long-term losses, anything over a year. So not only do you get to deduct $3,000 in losses against your gains in the short term, you also get to do the exact same thing with long-term gains versus long-term losses. So if you bought and held Bitcoin for more than a year before you sold it, then you can deduct up to $3,000 in capital losses for your long-term against your long-term capital gains as well. So that means that you can, in a calendar year, deduct up to $6,000 of losses against your gains for the taxable amount that you'll have to be paying. So here's the long and the short of it. A short-term capital loss example is you bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin on December 1st, 2017. So your price per unit was $10,000. You acquired one Bitcoin. Your transaction fee was $150. So your cost was $10,150. And then you sold one unit of Bitcoin on February 5th, 2018. At the price that you sold it at, it was $7,500. Your transaction fee was $112.50. So your net proceeds in that scenario were $7,387.50. Subtracting your net proceeds of $7,387.50 from your cost basis of $10,150 results in a short-term capital loss of $2,762.50. So that's your short-term capital loss. Is your net. So say again, you bought Bitcoin at 10,000 and you sold at 7,500. The difference between that is your total loss for the calendar year of a short-term capital loss. Because you held your BTC for less than a year, your loss is considered a short-term capital loss. The IRS permits you to offset short-term capital gains against your short-term capital losses up to a maximum of $3,000 per year. If you're married and filed separately, the actual limit is $1,500. If you have no short-term gains and only short-term losses, you can still deduct them on your federal 1040 form. So say you have gains. So Bitcoin, that wasn't the only transaction where you lost money. Say you actually made, let's say that your net winnings were $10,000. Well, you can still deduct that $2,760 from your $10,000. So you'd have a taxable amount around $7,500, give or take. So, and if you had no gains this year and you've only lost money, well, guess what, guys? You get to deduct your losses on your 1040 ES form, okay? So the same thing for a long-term capital loss example. You bought $12,000 worth of Bitcoin on October 29th, 2017. You bought them at $6,000 per Bitcoin, so you bought 2 Bitcoins. Your transaction fees were $180. That means you paid in total $12,180. Now, you sell your Bitcoin on November 20th, 2018. Bitcoin price per unit is $4,500. Your transaction fees are $135, meaning your net proceeds were $8,865. So you've lost almost $4,000. Subtracting your net proceeds of $8,865 from your original cost basis of $12,180 results in a long-term capital loss of $3,315 for you. Now, that's $3,315 that you can deduct on your 1040 ES form and also use up to, you can if you have gains that actually offset that, you can offset up to $3,000 against your long-term capital gains for that calendar year, guys. So, on cryptocurrency this year, you need to do your taxes, guys, because it's actually going to help you out. And it's also going to keep Big Brother off your ass, guys. So don't freak out. It's a pain in the ass, guys. Now, the forms that you're going to need your broker's 1099B form or 1099K form. You can get this from GDAX, from whatever exchange that you're trading on. You're going to need your monthly account statements, guys. So you need to be keeping track of the trades that you make. You need to be keeping track of them in a spreadsheet, in a tracker, whatever you want to do. That's something that that we have for the members that actually we need to spin up and provide out and just put that out, the default template. We use it to track all the trades, but it's also very helpful for tracking your individual trades as well, guys. You need to keep track of what you're actually doing, where money's coming in, where money's going out. You'll also need, let's see, Form 8949 to list every Bitcoin trade made during the tax year. And that's the form that you're going to use to list your short-term capital gains and losses. You'll use another one to list your long-term capital gains and losses. And then you'll need a Schedule D form to import information from your 8949, guys. So 1, 2, 3 forms you're going to need to file your trading taxes. Now, this is no different from Forex or equities. This is just a part of trading, guys, and you guys better get used to it. If you're going to actually want to do this as a profession or even as a hobby, you got to do it, man. So what's nice, though, this article goes on to talk about how this is helpful. The reason why is because at the end of the year, when you're doing your taxes, you actually get a very stark reality of how successful or unprofitable the previous year was. So this is a good, stark, honest assessment for you to realize what you need to improve on and kind of a wake-up call for you to double down on your trading strategy if you have been unprofitable. But the silver lining is it also helps you see where you've been successful. So let's say that you've been good at short-term speculation and terrible at long-term speculation. Well, because you're able to compare the long-term gains and losses versus the short-term gains and losses. Well, that lets you know that maybe you should just leave off the long-term speculation and stick to the short-term swing and day trading. Conversely, if the long-term speculation has played out well for you and the short-term day trading and swing trading has been very negative for you, maybe look to cut that out or reduce that and move more into an investment type mindset. Of course, the good news is that all of your Bitcoin losses, no matter how large, can be used to offset your Bitcoin gains. Say that 2019 turns out to be a great year of Bitcoin gains for you. You make $20,000 in short-term capital gains, trading several times throughout the year. If you have $5,000 in short-term Bitcoin losses in 2018, you can carry $3,000 of those losses forward into 2019. So those $3,000 are transferable. They're movable forward 1 year or backwards 1 year. So if you do well in 2020 and make $10,000 in short-term gains, you can take the remaining $2,000 in short-term losses from 2018 and reduce your 2020 short-term taxable gains to $8,000, guys. So crypto taxes, nothing to be scared of, nothing to be scared of. You can sit down and get all this stuff done in a day. Just get all your ducks in a row. Keep track of your trades. Get a tracking sheet. Just use Microsoft Excel, Google Spreadsheets, whatever you want to use, man. Keep track of your trades, and come tax season, you'll be able to avoid a lot of pain. This is a little interesting story. So Ari Paul, who is the capital executive of Block Tower, he is the officer and managing partner at Block Tower Capital. He purchased a call option for almost $1 million that had predicted a Bitcoin price of $50,000 by December 28th, 2018. So for those of you who aren't familiar with options, Ledger X was one of the first regulated options exchanges in the United States, so you could actually trade options on there. And, so for those of you who aren't familiar with options, there's calls and puts, and all they are options to buy or sell at a current price by a certain date. So a call option gives you the right to buy a certain underlying asset at a certain price by a certain time, whereas a put option will allow you to sell an underlying asset at a certain price by a certain time. So he had purchased the right to buy Bitcoin at $50,000, and that option expires on December 28th, 2018, which as we all are just able to understand through common sense, that option is goddamn useless, and he's going to lose that $1 million. Now, the notional value of the contract was $13.75 million, meaning he could have purchased up to $13.75 million worth of BTC at $50,000. Now, for that option to become in the money, Bitcoin would obviously have to rally 1,400%. So if you guys think that you're making bad decisions with crypto trading, these smart people aren't any better, man. Now, he said he purchased this option while selling some of his funds' Bitcoin holdings. This was back in, I believe, February. When did he purchase this? I believe it was in February. He says that he explained that the trade let him lock in some profit while reducing risk to the market's volatility. Now, he actually purchased this contract when, he actually purchased this contract when price was $16,000, I believe. So it was down from its all-time high. Yeah. On the date when Paul acquired the options, Bitcoin was trading at around $16,200. So, and this was after, obviously, we dropped from our all-time high, December 17th, 2017. Never forget. He says, these calls let me capture upside while reducing my downside risk. Yeah, whatever, man. You made a bad call. Just shut the fuck up. The investment advisor also told his followers on Twitter that his trade, which involved selling a portion of his Bitcoin holdings and simultaneously purchasing the call option, was a profitable move. Yes, says everybody who made a bad trade and tried to account for it. Tweet from Coinbase Pro, Civic, District 0x, Loom, and Mana. Order books are going to be entering transfer-only mode. We will accept inbound transfers of these assets, but traders cannot place orders and no orders will be filled. Order books will be in transfer-only mode for a minimum of 48 hours. So if you guys want to get your Civic, your DNT, your Loom, your Mana over to Coinbase Pro in anticipation of trading, you guys can go ahead and do that. But listen, guys, the trades are over, man. You buy the rumor, sell the news. We entered DNT. We got into a DNT trade a couple days ago. We already hit all our profit targets on that. Actually exceeded our take profit targets, but that's fine, guys. Capture the meat and potatoes. Leave the heads and tails to BitMEX. And Mana, we swung trade that, man. We captured almost 30% profit on that baby. So very happy with that, guys. The trades are done, man. When things get listed on Coinbase Pro, they tank. So if you guys think that these things are going to skyrocket from here, I'm sorry, you've got another thing coming, man. The trades are over, guys. Buy the rumor, sell the fact. Now, this is another interesting Reddit article that Alex actually pointed out to me. I'm going to post this. This is from Reddit. This is a long read, man, but this is a pretty good read. And I disagree with some of the stuff that he says in here, and I'm not going to read this verbatim, but I'm just going to go over some of the important things that this guy says. So he says, he goes on to say in this article that he thinks the most striking thing is how well Bitcoin's price is holding up relative to other coins. He says the reason for this isn't so obvious. Now, he claims that every other coin is superior to Bitcoin in some way. For example, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash are much cheaper to send money with. Ethereum is used for contracts. Monero has anonymity. And he thinks that Bitcoin will not be able to hold up much longer and that we will most likely capitulate to $980. And that after that, the price will likely recover to around $1,500, which he thinks is a fair market value for Bitcoin. He says that the reason for this, the problems with Bitcoin moving forward are that the Bitcoin network has not fixed its issue with block size and that the Lightning Network is a task for hobbyists that will eventually die out. Because running a Lightning node will be too difficult for ordinary people and that current money transmission regulations will not permit most businesses to run nodes. Now, here's where one of the many things where I disagree with him with. So this is all speculation on his part about that. In the early days of the internet, setting up a TCP/IP connection and hopping on BBS boards was considered impossible for regular individuals. Well, guess what happened over the course of time? Technology developed, and we were able to spin up very easy to use outlets, apps, projects, platforms for individuals to be able to access the internet. And now we have what we have today. The beautiful, just meme troll hole that is the global internet. And we're already seeing this with the Lightning Network. We're already seeing built-in-the-box Lightning nodes. And what are we going to see in the future? Well, we're going to see very simple to download programs that you're going to be able to just download onto your computer or your mobile app, and you'll be able to run a Lightning node just like that. It's going to be simple as point and click, guys. So all this speculation that Lightning node's too complicated, oh my God. Well, back in the early days of Bitcoin, like, you literally had to write your own mining software. And now it's plug and play. You can just go get Electrum or download something on your mobile phone, and you can transact Bitcoin at the press of a button, guys. Technology evolves. So all this FUD about the Lightning Network is just old and overhashed, man. And the same thing, the case is yet to be even fought with money transmission regulations, man. This is like, that's the original Roger Ver. And I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's that Swedish, he runs that party in Sweden. He was behind the Pirate Bay. I can't think of his goddamn. He's a shiller for Bitcoin Cash. But yeah, these are old arguments that have already been disproven, man. Like nothing changes the fact that Bitcoin has the most active development, has some of the best developers in the world working on it, has the most active development, and continues to evolve and grow every single day, whereas most of these shitcoins are just cashing out, man. Let's see here. Now, he says the difference in this crash is the lack of news to explain it. He says in the first crash from $32 to $2, well, obviously it was speculation that nobody would even adopt cryptocurrencies. From the $266 to $9 crash, it was thought that Mt. Gox's instability would lead to the death of the industry. And from $1,160 to $160, well, China was banning Bitcoin every other week. However, in this market cycle, there's no concurrent news to explain the sudden downturn of the market. What makes sense to me is the idea that institutions are crashing the price so that they can buy cheaply. So you guys are probably familiar with the saying that when retail misses the bus, they miss the bus. When institutions miss the bus, they pull the bus back. Another thing he points out, and this is interesting, is IPOs from mining manufacturers. So businesses don't tend to IPO when they have plenty of money. And why would they? Why would they give up potential profits now to be able to raise money? Or excuse me, why would they give up potential profits to get money now if they don't need it? Right now, mining companies are operating at little profit because there is no demand for their project. And he doubts that they will be able to raise much money from their IPOs because their entire business model for investors is completely dependent on cryptocurrencies rising and recovering. And if a coin soars 100 to 1,000x, well then the stock price is only going to rise 5 to 10x. So why would you just not invest in the underlying asset? Why would you in any way, shape, or form be interested in investing in Coinbase's speculative IPO, for example? If cryptocurrencies settle at these prices indefinitely, companies like Coinbase, and they will collapse. So you will lose a lot more money investing in their IPO than if you just invest in a coin that has a much less likely chance of going to zero. I mean, look at all these zombie coins that have existed for years that haven't gone to zero. They just get randomly pumped and they trade on like these weird exchanges like KuCoin. They've been around forever. Even on Bittrex, there's just these weird zombie coins, man. They've been around for a long time, but they won't die. Trump coin, millionaire coin, all these weird little frog coins, man. And they're not at zero. He says, this is where I agree with him. Manipulation is a buzzword people use to explain things they don't like. He says the latest theory is that Bitfinex did violate the law by serving U.S. customers and not shutting down when they were insolvent, but there isn't any evidence that Tether is going to fall due to fraud. Now, Tether may fail due to banking regulations, but that's different from fraud. He says he doesn't think the markets are manipulated like most people think. There are scams, especially ICOs, but he doubts the SEC will bring any charges against Bitfinex, and most people complaining about manipulation are people just whining because they lost money. Now, to finish up with this, I know we've kind of gone on for a while, but he says one of the reasons that the bubble is a while away is because we have yet to see a lot of honest businesses fail. So, for example, we recently saw the Ethereum Classic dev team close their doors due to insolvency. And although they overlooked the DAO hack, something I disagree with him here on, I think the DAO hack, I prefer Ethereum Classic's approach than Ethereum's. The Ethereum Classic dev team were an honest, ethical community and team contributing to the space, and they no longer exist. And look at Steemit. Steemit has had to lay off 75% of their employees. And that was a legitimate cryptocurrency project that was contributing to the space. And we're going to see a lot more of this, he says. He says it's cheap to be a scammer. You just put up some fake stuff and run off with the money. It's expensive to actually run a legitimate, honest, ethical business. And with new regulations coming out and settlements with ICOs, for ICOs with the SEC, for example, we're going to eventually see a lot of legitimate, more legitimate crypto businesses go out of business. But he says this isn't a bad thing because all market cycles move with the collapse of previous institutions and companies and the rebirth of new institutions and new companies. All right, so I got a lot of chat to go through, man. Snowblind Wizard. I like that name, man. Time to buy Bitcoin and hold long term. Always a good time to buy Bitcoin and hold long term. Yes. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate that, man. Satoshi Nakafomo 1, don't remember reading on Bitcoin's white paper anything about taxes. You're absolutely right. You also don't remember reading anything in Bitcoin's white paper about trading Bitcoin on exchanges as speculative asset to gain fiat value for, which is what most people have been doing with it. So there you have exited the realm of cryptocurrency and entered into the realm of profiting and money making and trading and exchanges and US regulation and laws and all that wonderful fun stuff, guys. So yeah, if you had just bought BTC over the counter and never sold it, not a problem, man. Or if you had just mined it, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Which is the original way that you were supposed to get Bitcoin. Either get it or mine it. But as soon as you step into a trading situation, you are out of the realm of altruistic Bitcoin, man. You are out of the realm. Are you trying to see how long you can get the currently viewing numbers? Yeah, man. Or how low you can get the currently viewing numbers. Yeah, man. What if you don't sell them this year? Then that turns into a long-term capital gain or loss. Check out Trace Mayer and Stacey Herbert Twitter posts today and let me know what you think. Yeah, I'll take a look at them, bro. How did I become a professional trader? Lots of pain, man. Lots and lots of pain. I've been doing this for about 10 years, man. Been doing this for about 10 years. You know, cut my teeth in equities and options, and lost a lot of money there, honestly, for a couple years. And then after about 2 years in, I started making money and started developing my strategy and started getting really serious about, I just took it seriously. I stopped doing it as a hobby and started taking it seriously. And then I took the plunge and jumped off the cliff, and here I am. Got into Forex. Got into Forex in 2011, 2012, and did that until 2016. That's when I entered into cryptocurrency, really hardcore, and I've been doing that ever since. And I'm in here because I love the tech, man. Love the tech. I like Bitcoin, man. I have a fundamental belief in Bitcoin's ability to actually emancipate the world from economic slavery, and so I'm in this to win it, man. Oh, I appreciate it. Crypto E, hey Justin, I want to shill a project that I think is going to be top 50 to top 20 in a couple months on CoinMarketCap. XYO, duly noted, man. So this article is saying Bitcoin under 1,000, but alts hold. Yeah, I think that actually would be the takeaway. Mountain Gox owes me 300 Bitcoin. I'll never get that back. That sucks. Yeah, man, I feel you, brother. Market is manipulated by BSV. They sold all the Bitcoin. Potentially. Yeah, MaxX. Yeah, Bitfinex did start printing Tether as soon as they paid off their lost hacker funds. Not a coincidence whatsoever, man. But it's possible that they have made enough profits to actually cover that. Thanks, Joey V. I appreciate it, man. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin going below 2,500 as a bottom? Well, look, today's candle starts to look a little bit more baby bullish as we go. We'll just see how we go there, man. But just my long-term outlook on Bitcoin hasn't changed. If we break down below the 200 period simple moving average on the weekly chart right here, then if we close the weekly below it, then we're in fairly like wheelchair territory area below 3350. As we can see, the bulls holding my area of 3350 right now on the weekly chart and the daily time frame. So we'll see how that plays out. Short-term targets to the downside of 28.95, 27.04 and 25.02 I think are key areas. And below that, man, below that it gets pretty scary, man. There's really nothing down there, man. There's really nothing down there, bro. I mean, all this is just super weak sauce volume, dude. And we don't really see support until sub 1,000, man. And I think breaking 3,000 psychological support is going to be super painful, man. It's going to be super painful, dude. And these areas might even become eradicated, dude. Yeah, I don't see any. Look at this. This is just LVN all the way down, man. LVN all the way down until like 1,400, to like 1,350. Our first area of slight support that we see is 1350. Yeah, man. 1350, and then the area is 1139. 778, man. Does not start to look good if we start breaking down below 2000, man. Does not look good below that. I mean, I'm fine for the long term on it, guys. I mean, what an amazing feeling. Like right now, man, what an amazing feeling to know that if I was so inclined, like I could just go out and buy a few Bitcoins if I wanted, dude. Like that wasn't something that I could do back most of the year, man. Kind of a crazy feeling, man. We've got a few more news things. Oh yeah, so this is blockchain DApp platform adoption. So Ethereum, we can see obviously got a whole bunch. EOS got a whole bunch, although I think EOS kind of whatever, gambling is going to be their thing. Ion, Neo, Tron, Icon, OneChain, Lisk, Tezos, and Cardano. So this is basically for me just to highlight how useless Cardano is. I think Cardano sucks, dude. EOS I think sucks too, but it'll probably pump, man. Ion, I kind of like Ion actually. Neo, we'll see how that plays out, but I think Neo's probably exit scamming right now actually. So we'll just kind of see how they do it. And Tron, I think listen, man, I think Tron's gonna hang in there for a while, guys. I really do. Block 7,080,000 block Ethereum. The devs propose activation point for the next hard fork. So you guys will be able to opt into the hard fork for the activation of their new proposed code change, Constantinople. Again, I don't keep up to date with a lot of the, Scott would be the one to do this in the news nugget. He knows a lot about Ethereum and he's pretty pro at all this stuff. But yeah, this is not the Ethereum 1X. Which is really the big upgrade that is proposed in 2019. This isn't Plasma. This isn't proof of stake. These are just updates to the protocol. So we'll see how that plays out. State 29, Robinhood brings zero fee crypto trading to Illinois, guys. So what's up, man? Illinois, neighbor state, guys. So if you guys are in Illinois, you can trade for zero fees on Robinhood right now, baby. Yeah, don't like the liquidity though. PayPal launches internal crypto platform. So PayPal actually has an initiative to pay their employees their employees tokens. So if you're a PayPal employee, you can actually earn cryptocurrency. Yeah, pretty cool from PayPal. Even though, and what's funny is that, listen, man, we've been hearing this like while they're in your face, what they're doing is they're telling you cryptocurrency is a scam. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, they're investing and buying up and doing all kinds of stuff, guys. So, some of the oldest and richest Bitcoin addresses in existence have transferred a total of more than 424,000 Bitcoin, worth more than $1.4 billion to new wallet addresses. And it's impossible for us to know like what this is. Is this people buying Bitcoin on exchanges and moving them to cold storage? I certainly think, though. Is this a lot of people? This is not, I guarantee you, this is not individuals. This is not whales moving cryptocurrency to things like BitMEX, for example, to enter into shorts. Whales are not shorting the bottom at these levels, guys. I'm sorry to tell you, they're not doing it. This is most likely large-scale accumulation. So, U.S. congressmen introduced 2 bills to prevent cryptocurrency price manipulation. This is just these aren't like specific bills. These are just they want research to be done on how to prevent cryptocurrency manipulation. I think Backed is actually probably going to become the standard for cryptocurrency price, or maybe ErisX. ErisX is going to be that fund, that cryptocurrency exchange that got funding from NASDAQ and Morgan Stanley and TD Ameritrade. One of these licensed regulated exchanges is going to be the standard for Bitcoin price. So looking 2019, 2020 will actually have a standard price for Bitcoin, and we won't have to look at so many different exchanges. 0x has launched or is launching Instant, a way to flexibly buy crypto tokens. So go check that out. Woohoo! Don't really care. There's too many articles to go through, man. So I'm going to get back to price and do what I'm good at as TA. Jay Constant, how we doing, man? I hesitated to buy back at 33.25 and now FOMO. Yeah, man. Just, hey, patient, calm, casual trading, man. Patient, calm, casual trading, man. 3,100, 3,200, Reduce risk at 3,000. I'm wrong at 2,850. Take profits at 3,300, 3,500, 3,600, 3,700, 3,800, 4,000. Up here, I cheers you guys, and we'll drink some beers, man. Ding, ding, ding. Calm, patient, slow, methodical trading for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum, bought a little bit right now, or excuse me, I deleveraged. I did actually. So I took a little bit of profit on my short. I entered into a little bit of a long position on my other exchange, just a little bit, looking to really enter at 83, 80, reducing risk at 76, reducing risk at 74, looking at 100, looking at 105. Just slow, calm, patient trading, man. Key areas of support and resistance. Scalping Ripple, scalping TRX, scalping Bitcoin Cash. Good ways to trade. Scalping Cardano. All right, guys. I got 5 minutes left, so let's go over longs and shorts. All right, so here we've got Bitcoin shorts. Now, I want to point this out, man. Flibber tweeted this out, man, and it's super interesting. So there's 130,000 Bitcoins in Bitfinex's cold storage wallet. And there are about 60,000 Bitcoins lent out in shorts. The total number of shorts right now is 42,000. So if these shorts get squeezed and cover, they're going to have to buy back almost half the Bitcoin on Bitfinex. So there's only two options here, guys. First off, well, this is what's going to happen if the shorts get squeezed on Bitfinex significantly. Like we saw, sometimes I do slow, calm, patient trading in the mirror. Hey, buy low, sell high, man. Look at this. See the short squeeze right here? That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see, where shorts just get squeezed 25% in a 30-minute and a 4-hour time frame. Actually, this all pretty much happened in a 1-hour time frame. That's what we want to see. That's what I was expecting to see right here once we entered into the death box, but we did not see that. So I've actually charted out this broadening top pattern, and this gives us a measured move up here at 46,058 shorts. So we've got about 4,000 more shorts to rise until we hit that death box. And I am expecting at that point in time, that's when we get the hammer. That's when we get the hammer drop. So I've actually charted this out in a beautiful squiggly line, up, down to test as support, up to test the box, down, a little bit of an attempted breakthrough, and then boom. That's really what I want to see. However, look right now. We tested it. We were looking to test this death box as support. Fell back down below the 8-period moving average on the 4-hour chart, and we'll see where we pick up. But the shorts are actually dying off right now today on Bitfinex. Let's see here, and we had this bearish divergence on the MACD histogram. Boom, boom, beautiful. Beautiful, like to see that. So we've actually got a little bit more room for shorts to rise, and that's why I'm very confident and comfortable in my positions at 3,100 and 3,200, guys. Reducing risk in these areas as I've gone over ad nauseum. And looking at longs. Oh, thank you, sir. I missed you, man. Oh, Fraser Sebastian, man. Thank you so much for the follow on YouTube. I really appreciate that. And looking at longs, we can actually see that longs are looking for a potential breakout here, guys. So we had this nice little pump up, and longs got squeezed right here, guys. So I don't really know if I should include this, and really if I should just not consider this for this to be instead something like a parallel channel. That might actually be more concise, but it would give us a measured move slightly different. So I've taken the measured move of the triangle, trying to see that same increase in volatility right here on the breakout. And either way you want to look at this, whether it's a descending channel or whether it's a large symmetrical triangle, which seems a little iffy to me. I'll be honest with you guys. Anyways, the breakout's still fairly significant. So the measured move of the channel breakout would be 7% to the upside. So we broke out here. So 7% to the upside puts us right at my first resistance, or my secondary resistance target, at 30,577 longs. So as we can see, I've kind of charted like how we might squiggly line on up there. As we can see right now, we did rise up a little bit. We're looking to come back and test either the channel or the breakout point of the... Oh, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Highly appreciate it. Summit, thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Hey, Alex, how we doing, man? Thanks for joining us. So we actually are coming back to test the breakout of the longs here on this descending trend line. Do we see any kind of divergence right here? Nope. Don't see any divergence. We actually see a little bit of confluence, so that's absolutely fine. Again, this is the 30-minute chart, so we'll see how this baby plays out. We actually broke above the resistance level, the breakout level at 28,761 longs, and we've come back to test this. So if we pump back up here and test this as resistance, we're just going to move sideways more. We're not going to have that breakout yet. But, oh man, they're coming in. Callie Jim, thanks for the follow on Twitch, man. Highly appreciate it. But again, as much as I'm congruing the Bitcoin longs, I'm really looking at these shorts, man. Like we are at, looking at the 3-day chart, man, we're at all-time highs for shorts, guys. They don't have a whole lot of room to rise, guys. We have completely broken the death box, and looking at the 3-day chart, we're actually looking to come back down into that. And don't have any bearish divergence on the 3-day chart, nor do we have any on the 1-day chart either. So we'll see here, man. But I don't think that I don't think shorts have. They've got room to rise. They've got room to rise. So that's why, and longs have room to fall. Again, that's why I feel very comfortable in my longer term calm patient trade setup here that I have for BTC. And if I get invalidated, that's fine, guys. I'll just look to enter elsewhere. And right now, the scalping's not doing too bad. Not lying to you guys. All right, it's 12:01, so I've got to take a little break before when I come back, guys. I'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to go anywhere. When I come back, I'm going to go over altcoins, guys, and see what kind of juicy things are going on. I'm going to go over the week 1 completed total P&L for the Kraken Cryptocurrency Trading Group. I've got a few more news nuggets to go over with you guys, and I will be taking requests, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Mr. Hut QC, man. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, man. I highly appreciate it, guys. Highly appreciate the follows on Twitch, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we'll be back. Don't go anywhere, guys. I'll be back in just a minute or two. Don't go anywhere. And get your requests ready, guys, because when I come back, we'll be taking requests. Thank ya. All right, we're back, guys. Thank you for hanging in there, man. All right, guys. So as promised, I'm going to go over the week 1 of the trading group. And actually, let me pull up the post that I made in the Discord. So let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. Sorry about that. All right, hopefully you guys can see all that clearly. No, you still can't see the total results. There we go. There we go. Now you guys can see the results a little bit clearer there, hopefully. All right, cool. So this is how we closed out week 1 for the Kraken cryptocurrency trading group. Total P&L for the first week, we were up 160.35% for a gross gain. Maximum drawdown was negative 75.98%. Total risk to reward ratio, calculating max drawdown to total profit result, is 2.11 risk to reward ratio. We closed 32 trades with 18 winners and 14 closes, so our win-loss ratio for week 1 was 56.25%. Biggest gainers was Mana, which we entered at 141, closed out our last target at 185 for a total profit capture of 31.21%. We took a short on XBT from 41.51 to 39.65. Closed that out at 22.40%. Let's see here. Other big gainers were, let's see here, what's this? District 0x, which we closed out just yesterday. We entered at 307, exited at 363. Salt, which we entered at 58, or excuse me, yeah, 58,000 or 5,800 and exited at 75.50. XRPZ18, there's scalps in here as well. The other big gainer was an XBT USD long from 3,700 to 3,795, and then a BCH Z18 short from 33 to 315. Let's see. Yep, so week 1 doing pretty good. We'll start tracking week 2 moving forward. A couple little news nuggets here. Oh yeah, there's another thing that I wanted to point out. So this is the top accounts by Ethereum balance. So this is Bitfinex's cold storage wallet. They have 1.9 million Ethereum. Okay, they own almost 2% of all the Ethereum. Okay, now let's go take a look at Ethereum longs and shorts. So here's Ethereum longs, okay? And we have about 352,000 Ethereum longs, okay? That's fine, not a problem there. Let's take a look at Ethereum shorts. Look at that shit, dude. Look at Ethereum shorts, dude. 421,000 lent out BTC in short positions. So that means for them shorts to cover, guys, they are going to have to purchase about 25% of all the Ethereum that Bitfinex is offering. I mean, the short squeeze is incoming on these guys. There's only 2 options, guys. It's the same thing with Bitcoin, actually. Either Bitfinex completely exit scams right now and is unable to actually keep this in any way congruent, or the price skyrockets. The price on Bitfinex is going to skyrocket either way. Is the price on other exchanges going to follow that short squeeze? That's the question. But either way this plays out, extremely interesting. And I've been using Bitfinex sentiment data to chart on for so long, I'm just going to stick with it, man. Till the wheel breaks. I'm not hopping off the train, man. So yeah, this looks too good, man. This looks too freaking good. Looks too good, dude. The potential for a short squeeze. I mean, look at that. Look at those shorts, dude. Do they got room to rise? Absolutely, dude. But is there room for this? Yeah, there is, man. Yes, there is. Every time shorts, you know, again, I don't trade a lot on the RSI, but looking at the RSI, looking at the daily chart here, every time shorts get over their skis, we get a little bit of a downturn. What happens to price? Price goes up, baby. And look how oversold, look how overbought Ethereum shorts are right now, baby. God, I love it, man. I like the potential profits coming in, man. Love this volatility, dude. I mean, listen. Don't be hating, guys. Don't be hating, guys. And Ethereum USD longs. Look at this price contraction, man. Look at this price contraction on longs, dude. Man, we've got this parallel channel that I've charted out. Not sure if it's like super accurate, but again, I'm not a huge chart patterns guy, but I'll play them out, especially because it gives us stuff to talk about. Holding this previous level of support and price just contracting in this range, guys. Price just contracting in this range. What happens when price contracts in a range? Popped. Oh yeah, man. We've got good breakout potential here for the longs. We'll see how this plays out, baby. I'm pretty excited, man. Pretty excited right now. This is a pretty critical time in the market, guys. And I don't think that we're going to just continue I don't think we're going to see the slow continued slump that we've been seeing. Eventually it can pick back up, but you guys know where I'm at, man. I am pretty transparent about my positions. Wow, them some long shorts, man. Holding ETH from $83. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I'm hoping that ETH drops back down to 80 and 83, so I can ride it up to at least 100 in the short term. Kind of the same thing that I'm looking at for Bitcoin actually. But I just just this morning, just early this morning, I snagged up some ETH at current POC levels, so comfortable with it. Headache. All right, moving on. Oh, by the way, guys, just repping the Kraken cryptocurrency merch. Got my new Spreadshirt package in the other day. And I'm pretty happy, man. You know, I was worried that, they would print stuff crooked or anything like that. But actually, I was wearing the orange Kraken Crypto HODL shirt yesterday. Looks really good, dude. And the quality's pretty nice. I don't make the shirts, dude. It's just drop shipping, guys. But actually, I was pretty impressed with the quality, man. The shirt's really comfortable. It uses good cotton, man. I like it, dude. Let's see. Moving on. Okay. A couple news nuggets. Report: the biggest crypto bears are selfish Chinese miners. This is super interesting. So this is actually some interviews with Chinese miners playing the short game. And what they're saying is that as they're mining cryptocurrency, they're immediately shorting it. They're immediately entering they're putting that Bitcoin on BitMEX or Bitfinex, and they're entering them into short positions, and they'll cover a month later. And that is allowing them to maintain profit to keep in business. Okay? He says, in a report in a local media publication aligned with Bitmain suggests it could be this latter group that have been shorting Bitcoin in great numbers. According to a translation of the story, several quotes were taken from Chinese miners explaining why they're continuing to short the market. He says, everyone is a short seller. We're doing this for self-defense, but this will lead to a further decline in cryptocurrency price. Without short selling, we will be eliminated ultimately. But if everyone keeps doing this, we will finally die together, which is quite heroic. So hopefully that makes yeah, for sure, man. Well, hey, never wear a Bitcoin hat or shirt in the open. You will be a target to get robbed. Yeah, maybe back in December 2018 or December 2017, you probably get people probably look at you now like, so how's that Bitcoin doing? That was my Thanksgiving, by the way. Just my family so the crypto thing, huh? I'm like, yep, buy the dip. My life, man. In a bear market with a downtrend that is getting steeper by the week, it makes sense to hedge on shorting cryptocurrencies. This is another quote from a miner. He says, if I mine 30 coins in the next month, while its price may continue to fall by another 10%, according to the current trend, I shall place a short order on the exchange to sell them at current price, but deliver 1 month later. All right, so with leverage as well. So we have the speculation here is that it's these Chinese miners that are attempting to just stay afloat who are continuing to short the market because they're putting their mined coins on the exchange and shorting them so that they can actually deliver the coins at a later date. The problem with this is that, let's see here. Where do we go here? The problem with this, though, is that is ultimately going to be a net negative for the market. So I think that this report goes on to say that, let me find it. This is a rather selfish and destructive approach to the crypto ethos, which may well end in bankruptcy for many Chinese miners. Smarter ones are likely to be hodling while the storm passes and waiting for a time that they can sell again at a higher price, rather than trying to get instant profits by destroying the product. So we see this, guys. People who are short-term based in markets don't tend to win out. They tend to get outcompeted by those who have a longer time horizon and a longer time frame. So again, I think it's a short, man. But I think it's a short aspect of the market cycle, and I don't think that these Chinese miners will be able to continue doing this if this is in fact a true report. Institutional offerings for crypto increases as leading coins prepare for another bounce. So this is an expert opinion from CoinGape from, I don't know, this analysis is an adaptation from the work of Maddie Greenspan, the senior market analyst at eToro. She says that Fidelity and NASDAQ Ventures have joined hands to invest in crypto exchange ErisX. The Bitcoin ETF may not be coming soon, but new products are going to keep institutions interested, and crypto prices touching interesting lower levels, which could indicate a bounce may be coming. Gazprombank Switzerland. Oh, we got a sub on YouTube. MJ4IM. MJO. Joe4IM, thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Highly appreciate it. So another bank in Switzerland is launching crypto services next year. The VanEck says they're cautiously optimistic on the Bitcoin ETF approval. This is erasing $10 billion in the market cap in 24 hours. Ethereum and Stellar crash. And a new report claims Wall Street is manipulating crypto markets to buy crypto assets cheap. Which I think is the most likely account, guys. Which I think is the most likely account. Yeah, man, Cardano looks like hot garbage, dude. Sorry to say. All right. If you got any altcoins that you want me to look at, or any particular things that you'd like me to look at, man, now is the time. Christian, how you doing, man? No soy boys here, boy. Whole milk cottage cheese, baby. My 10-year-old son says, sell out your Bitcoin and buy a car. That's that short-term thinking, man. I'm FOMOing Ethereum. No, I don't FOMO, guys. I'll take a breakout trade, but my days of FOMO are over, man. Let's keep our eye on Mr. Bitcoin. What are we seeing right now, guys? Well, we have a breakdown from the previous point of control that we were establishing up here as a distribution area. Had a little bit of a bear flag right here, and actually that bear flag played out. So you take the measured move of the bear flag, of the flagpole, excuse me, 1.47%. You break right here. Actually, from the lower area, you go 1.47%. Yep. So target hit on that bear flag. And now you're coming up into this consolidation pattern, and we'll see how this plays out. This does not look to me like another bull flag. It's already played out. But if it is another bull flag, then it's going to be another 2.29% drop, measuring from here, 2.29 down to 35.52. I know some guys in the some guys in the Discord have their stop set at 32.75. Not bad, especially if you got filled at 3,200. You'll stop out at lowered profits. You'll stop out at lower profits, a slight loss actually, because you probably, like as I only got partially filled at 3,200 on that wick, and I got in 10% here and doubled down here, so about 30% of the position here, and then this only got 25% filled, but that was double this, so I'm about 50% in the trade at that point in time. Took profits here, 10% here, 10% here, so I'll look to be back to 70% into the trade if 3,100 hits. So EOS and Ethereum Classic. Yeah, I'll look at them, man. I also got to look at those tweets I said I'd look at. Trace Mayers and EOS and ETC. I've been trading the Bcash BSV war since it started. It's been fun. Yeah, man. Does this look like an inverted head and shoulders? Kind of does, doesn't it, buddy? Oh, whoops. That baby does kind of look like an inverted head and shoulders, doesn't it? So where's your neckline going to be? Well, your neckline's actually probably going to be right here, right at the top of that order block, that $3,400 area, which has been significant resistance. We posited as significant resistance here. It's an area where price found support off, broke down, found rejection from again. So I'm pretty confident in saying that this $3,400 line would be the more accurate neckline and just leave this out as noise. So if we were to take that measured move, buddy. Hey, yes. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Highly appreciated. So if we take that measured move from peak to trough, that's going to be a 6% movement, measuring from the breakout right here, and that 6% is going to put us right up. Look at that. Look at that. Our 200 period moving average on the 30-minute chart, and right back in that current order block area. Do we have a significant, look at that, baby. I see it right there. There it is. Bam, right there. That's where the whales are going to be hanging out right there, buddy. So measured move target from that. I wish they had vertical rays. Oh, I could just use ray right here. Target. Come on. Don't die on me now. There we go. All right, I feel pretty comfortable with that. Getting some lag on my computer. What happens when I'm trying to run everything? Maybe I should shut my miner off. So we'll not extend that. There we go. Does that look about right? Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I think we're gonna wick up more a little bit than that. Hey, Cornholio, thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. So there you go, man. There's your measured move for the inverted head and shoulders pattern. See if that baby plays out. Where's that at? 36.20? That baby right there, man. I like that. I like that a lot. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Yep, I like it, man. I like it quite a bit. And we'll see what happens when we get to 3,400, man, because that's going to be our neckline. See if we pop that baby. But that's going to be so sad for me, man. That means I'm not going to get filled at 3,100 and 3,200. It's all right. Okay. That'll let me, I already took profits at 3,500. That'll let me take profits at 3,550. That'll let me take profits at 3,600. And then if we're able to get back up here, man, that's going to be pretty fantastic, dude. That's going to be pretty fantastic because then we'll be re-entering into the consolidation area right here, the accumulation area. We'll be re-entering into an accumulation area. That might be a good place to take a short scalp from, and it might invalidate my upwards targets if we actually do continue to the downside. But then we will have established support. 3,500 and 3,550 will then become support. And whether they become strong support or weak support, we'll just have to wait and see. But that does look like a pretty good play on the table for me right there. Your trade becomes invalidated, and that actually gives you a good R/R because where does your trade become invalidated if you're looking to take that trade? Well, it becomes invalidated right here. Your trade becomes invalidated on a close. I'm looking at the 30-minute time frame. So your trade becomes invalidated after a 30-minute close below 33.11. The Real Dad's Crypto Chat. Computer Dr. Ethan, man. Thank you, sir. Gabriel. Yeah, man. Just set low buy orders, dude. They might get filled. Set high sell targets. They might get filled, man. It's a great way. I like to take critical areas and just move from that, dude. Now, let's see if we can use ATR to actually calculate you a good stop range. So where's look how low ATR is, man. We're about to pop. $33 is ATR. So current price being $33.59. So you'd want to set an ATR of at least 2 to keep yourself in the trade. So if current ATR is 33, you want to set a stop of 66. So measuring from current price, let's take that right there. Let's do a long position. Long position. Say you're going to enter here, and your upward target's right here. That's fine. You want to set a stop of at least $66 to keep you in the trade. 65.80. So that would give you a stop at about 33.11 actually. Do I have that right? No, actually it's getting scrunched. 32.92. Your actual stop on that would be 32.92 if you wanted to use 2 ATR. Really, I mean, with Bitcoin, man, you kind of want to set a 3 ATR, dude. So you'd actually want to set a stop of like $99, dude. Let's just call it 100. That would put your stop down at 32.57, and that's going to keep you most likely from getting wicked out. With my trailing stops, I actually do 3.5. So yeah, looking at current ATR right now, 3.5 is actually up here at 34.63 if you're in a short position. So ATR is actually telling you should be short right now, but what does it know? It doesn't understand Bitcoin volatility. I don't trade the strategy, man. It works in certain time frames, but definitely not on a 30-minute chart. So yeah, there's your couple options, man. You've got upward price targets of 3,500, 3,550, 3,600, and you're looking at setting a stop at either 2 to 3 ATR, so 3,257 or tighter, which is probably going to maybe potentially get you kicked out of the trade. 3,293, and if you just want to do one ATR is actually going to be 3,224, but I'd prefer to actually take the close below the ray at that point at 30. Where's that at? 3,311. So there's the current trade on the table, guys, for the inverted head and shoulders entering at this current price point. Again, I'm already in position, so I'm probably not going to FOMO in on that. If it plays, you break 3,400 though, it's not a bad breakout trade. Again, you typically want to wait for confirmation of the pattern to play out, so that's going to be a close above 3,400. Ryan Boss, man, boss status. Thank you for the sub on YouTube, highly appreciate it. All right, bro. All right, broskies. Cheers, brother. Hey, Texas Blues, man, what's going on? If the inverted head and shoulders happens, what would the ETH target be? Tone Vase says 3,400 will not even hold. What the fuck does Tone Vase do? No. No offense. Like, Tone Vase is an interesting character, but I've been thinking of it like Ender's Game. Bold narratives and characters all seemingly disconnected, and yet a deeper dance of order chaos ensues, allegedly. Haha, we'll see. Man, I love Ender's Game, dude. Speaker for the Dead? Woo! Man, Orson Scott Card is that dude, man. I'm a nerd, dude. I'm a nerd. Foundation? I grew up reading Foundation, dude. And I grew up reading Orson Scott Card. But my favorite is Dune. Frank Herbert's original Dune saga. The best sci-fi ever written. I heard some people got ETH orders filled down to 17 on Coinbase. Yeah, gangsters, dude. What do I think about Encash long term? I'll take a look at it, man. I shall not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the small death that brings total obliteration. When I was a young kid, I actually used to say that to myself as a mantra, dude. It's not a bad trading mantra either. Gotta watch crypto, man. When Bitcoin hits 20K again, I will build and send you the computer you need, and you will never lag, even running twice as much as you do now. Don't let me forget. Locked in, bro. I got you, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Listen, man, like, we've been running Cracking Cryptocurrency for like over a year now, guys. We started in September 2017 doing this. And it's been super exciting, man. But doing the live streams, we just this about a month and a half, we've been coming on every single morning now. And it's been great, man, meeting you guys. And I really appreciate all you guys that have been following on Twitch, liking, subscribing, stopping by the Discord, man. Shout out to all the premium subscribers, man. Like, it's been awesome, man. It's been a great ride. Spice must flow. Yes, it must. The guild travelers. All right. So let's take a look at that Ethereum and potential inverted head and shoulders. Okay, all right. So the inverted head and shoulders, if it plays out on Ethereum, is going to look a little different. Ah, man. I'm not sure I like this one as much. Oh, shit. Magnet mode. I'm not sure I like this one as much, broski. Maybe. So, where's your neckline going to be? Well, there's a couple places you could measure it from, man. You could either say that the neckline is going to be right here where I have current resistance right now at $93.70. And the reason why there's some confluence with that is, again, it's below the neckline, or excuse me, it's below the left shoulder if you're viewing this as the left shoulder. Hey, Blockchaingy. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, man. Really appreciate it, guys. Guys, we're so close to getting affiliate on Twitch. If you guys really want to help it out, again, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it costs you nothing if you want to support the stream. Please go over to Twitch and follow us there. Twitch.tv/JOIs free. If you want to follow us on Twitch, I'd highly appreciate it, man. So you could call 9370, but again, that's really not going to be congruent with anything. I'd prefer to use... I mean, really, if I'm being honest, the right level is right here. The right level is going to be 102 or maybe 100, okay? Because that's a fairly congruent area. That's an area where there was a lot of volume by price. That's an area that's going to act as strong resistance. You've got this desloping channel that we were trading into that we broke down out of and found rejection from up here. There's really no great place to measure it. I mean, the place that I would like to biasly measure it from is like 96.71 because there you have the peak of the left shoulder. And you've got a little bit of baby rejection right there. That's going to be fairly congruent with where the channel is, maybe a little higher, but you can see we're wicking up. And I'm sure if you take the standard deviation of those wicks up or those movements up, they're probably going to be fairly congruent with what you're going to see here. So let's stop jabbering and let's just call this the neckline. Okay, let's call that the neckline. So we won't have confirmation that this is completed until Ethereum goes all the way up to 96.75, which would be a hell of a trade right now, guys. Hell yeah, dude. That's a 40% trade on 5x leverage, dude. 27% on 3x, dude. 18% on 2x. And again, that's kind of what I'm looking for, guys, because like I said, I didn't FOMO in, guys, but I entered about 10% of the position that I'd like for an Ethereum long right before the show. Oh, we were down right about here. I think it was like, actually, what was it? 5? No, it wasn't 85. It must have been 87, 86. I have to go double check. And then I set some buy orders down at 83 and 80, assuming we come down there. That's a scalp. That's a potential scalp that I've had down there for a while. Didn't actually hit it. But oh well, would have been a great trade though. Just a little bit further, and bam, I would have caught that on 10x. That would have been beautiful. But yeah, then you'd have confirmation of that movement. So if we take the measured move from that bad boy, dude. Let's do an arrow. Let's take the middle, man. I like to be conservative, dude. Boom. Okay. Okay, that's about right. So that's going to be, that would be a movement of about 16%. So we'd see a movement a little bit less. A little bit less. Just measuring from peak to trough right there, guys. So we get confirmation of that breakout at 96.75. Be careful of the resistance at $100, but if you're looking to take that breakout trade, just going off the measured move from this, that would be the area. And so you would be targeting an area of around $110. And where do we have confluence with that? Well, look, guys, that was the descending trend line. Or that was the descending resistance point for our descending triangle that we broke down out of, came back up, found resistance, moved down, and now we might be potentially forming this inverted head and shoulders. I'm not as confident in this one though, man. I'm not as confident. I mean, you can just see the difference. Look how clean the Bitcoin inverted head and shoulders looks if it plays out, as opposed to the Ethereum inverted head and shoulders. It's just less clean, man. It's less clean. But there's the movement. There's the potential trade on the table. You could move this down or wiggle it around to conform with whatever bias you want. But we'll see, guys. I think that if we do break above $100 at the very least, so just not going off of this, we'll just type this down here. What did I say? 117? 110, my bad. Just going off of this, if we're able to break above $100, that's going to be pretty significant. That's going to be a pretty significant resistance break, and then we don't really see resistance until we get up here. We've got resistance at like 103. We've got resistance at 104, 105. Again, just those slow, casual ways of trading, man. Taking slow, averaging out of your position, 10% per position, 10 sell orders, 20% per position, 5 sell orders. you know, doubling down on your entries as price moves down, 10% on each fill, 10 potential buy orders, 20% at each fill order, 5 buy orders. Guys, you get paid to do limit orders, man. Ain't no problem, man. Still cost averaging down. If BTC goes up, ETH will too, though. Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, that's not actually that's not Clawhammer DBLC. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think you got a good point. If Ethereum does, if the Bitcoin inverted head and shoulders does play out, then we'll be seeing that as well. We will see Ethereum go up at least to touch $100. So that's why I'm actually kind of positive on entering into my long position at this point in time. Because, yeah, Bitcoin's starting to look pretty gosh darned bullish. I think the bulls want to hold this level pretty good. So, but still, nothing's changed. Buys at 3,200, buys at 3,100, and I'll just make less money on the way up. But that's actually a little undershooting my target of going up here to see Moon, man. Going up to see Moon Moon beer chug right here. Bloop bloop bloop. See you guys at 4K, man. See you guys there. I like being the count. You know, like I check out other streamers, man. Not really so much streamers. I check out like some of what other traders are doing, and oh, man, everybody just wants to say like, "Oh, this is the end. We see nothing positive. We're just gonna die, man." Well, guess what, dude? I traded TD sequential for 5 years, man. I'm a counter trend trader. Counter trend trading for the win. Let's look at some of these altcoin requests, baby. EOS. Do I got EOS on my watch list? No, cause it's a dumpster fire. Man. That looks rough, dude. That looks really rough. Oh, EOS going down. It's $1.78 today. Is it cheap? What do you think? Just a goddamn dumpster fire. Don't freak out. Oh my God, we've got a little bit of green. After 2 weeks of red. Everybody freak out. We're gonna pop. All right, I'll be real, man. You've got, you do seem to have a selling climax right here. EOS is probably gonna move up. We've got a resistance point at $2.87. So there's actually probably a good legitimate, God damn, that's a 60% gain on EOS, man. Can it happen? Do I believe it? Do I believe it? Look how much these fluctuations in other price are, though, in a day. 10% in a day. 16% in a day. 12% in a day. At the very least, I could potentially see EOS going up here to test at least the 8-day moving average, which has just been grinding us down like a lawnmower, dude. So you could potentially take a 20% trade, honestly, up to $2.18. This does actually kind of look like a little bit of a selling climax right here. You've got that little baby bitch hammer candle right here on more volume than you've ever seen in a whole long time on this decline. So here you have your breakdown volume right here where you break down below support and the price declines for a little bit and then you have a selling climax. I'm not fully in there yet. I want to see confirmation. I want to see a little bit more bullish growth. If I go over to Heikin-Ashi helps me see that. So yeah, I actually need these candles to turn green. I need Heikin-Ashi to turn green, and then I'll buy, and I'll look for a speculative trade to $2.26, $2.58, and and then $2.87. I'll look for those speculative trades once these Heikin-Ashi daily candles turn green. Yes, sir. I'll pay the premium and miss out a little bit. And where am I going to reduce risk? Shit. Where would I reduce risk? Well, there's only one way to do it, man. Since you're at the bottom. So TD sequential, giving you 2 recycled 9 buy setups. Looks like you're stalling here on Heikin-Ashi, and you're actually going to have a price flip, most likely. Got an area where there's a lot of buying. But again, you had this right here. Look, here you have a hammer candle. Not as convincing as this one, though. Here you have a hammer candle on Heikin-Ashi, a couple of them actually, and then price just continues to grind down a little bit, and then completely below. So TD sequential actually gave you a risk level at $1.66. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Now, don't set a hard stop there. I don't use hard stops, guys, but you're waiting for a daily candle close. You have to close. You have to close below the risk line, guys. You have to close a daily candle below $1.66. That's probably where I'd reduce risk. Actually, a pretty decent trade. Yeah, that's super good R to R right there, guys. That's good R to R right there, too. Looking at taking a 7% potential loss for a 20 to 50%, 20 to 60% actually upside here on EOS on the daily, and it's just because this thing's so goddamn volatile, man. I mean, look, yeah. So we'll see how this plays out, man. EOS charts crime scene, yeah, man. Agreed on EOS and ETC dumpster fires. That's why you've put your bid super low. I've gotten some great fills. Hell yeah, man. A Mixie 80. Thanks, man. We got auction. We got career opportunity, man. If this Bitcoin thing doesn't work out, dude. TRXZ18. Yeah, I'll take a look, bro. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about EOS. Looks like you might get a speculative bounce right here. But looking at the Japanese candlesticks, where's your 9? Put your risk at. You're already below your risk level on the 9. So Heikin-Ashi is the only thing really putting you in this trade right now. So Heikin-Ashi, definitely reducing risk below $1.66. Reducing risk below $1.66. So put that there. Got the cord in the way. Oh, I got the cord in the way. Get out of the way. Excuse me. And we'll just check on this baby. Check in on this baby. Hey, Hayden, what's going on, brother? All right, Ethereum Classic. Nah, man, not in it yet, dude. Breakdown volume, potentially oversold, but nah, dude, I can't touch. Again, I'm not touching it till the daily candle turns green on Heikin-Ashi. And we already closed tentatively below our TDST risk level right here. So, and we're already at a 6 and 9. So I'm actually going to wait for this to play out. Even if it moves sideways for 3 more days, I'll wait till that completed 9 until I'm even comfortable in entering. Let's see. New resistance. I gotta go to camp. My bad. Yeah, new resistance. New resistance. And new resistance. Yeah, this doesn't look any better, honestly. You already closed below your risk level. We're on a 6 and 9 on Japanese candlesticks as well on the daily chart. Nah, man, I'm not feeling it. This doesn't look like the oversold volume that I need. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up here. One second. Just had some company arrive, so I'm going to have to actually go take care of that. So I'll look at TRX Z18. I was already looking at that earlier today. You got that potential breakout. You're closing on the daily chart above your TDST resistance here. So let's see. You've got the only trade that I've got on the table are scalps for TRX Z18, guys. Sorry, it's super quick, but I got to be running, man. So I'll do a fuller analysis of this previously. Well, you did break out above previous resistance and held it as support, moving up. I would be cautious of a potential reversal pattern playing out here. Potential head and shoulders pattern playing out right here, in which case we would be moving down to these lower areas of resistance. But we are above yesterday's daily candle close, and we are also again above that daily TDST resistance as well. So things look tentatively bullish, but I'd just be careful of a potential reversal pattern forming out here, which would be validated on, really for me, on the 30-minute chart, a close below that 55 period moving average, because we've held that for a while. So a close below that would pretty much invalidate the uptrend. But right now you're just moving your stop up if you've been in a long position on TRX Z18 and potentially looking for shorts from these areas right here. Would probably be the most poignant short that I'd be looking for right here. Yeah. Right there, and maybe a double down right here as well. All right, guys, I gotta get jumping, man. Sorry to cut it off so early. So let's talk about the most important thing you can do today. Head on over to KrakenCryptocurrency.com, guys. It's the second most lovely website on the internet. Click the boo button. It's going to bring you to our Discord, guys. Hop in our community. We'd love to see you there, man. Scott has just worked on updating the website. This looks pretty fantastic, dude. It's not all the way done, but this looks absolutely fantastic, dude. Click on join the community. It's going to bring you right to our Discord, man. Hop on in there, dude. If you guys support the stream and want to keep us on the air, guys, again, make sure to hit that like button like there's nobody's business going on, man. Make sure to hit that subscribe and the notification bell, because we're here every single morning for you guys. But if you guys want to support the show and keep us on the stream, look into picking up some merch, man. We highly appreciate it, guys. It is scientifically proven that if you drink your coffee out of a Kraken Crypto HODL mug, you will be 80% more attractive to the opposite sex. And if you are interested in improving your trading skills, you can check it. You can join us in the VIP Premium Trading Services group. You get access to the voice chat, the VIP voice chat. You get access to the VIP chat room. You get access to all my trade setups. You get access to our extensive resource library, which I am currently even updating more now because I have gigabytes upon gigabytes of webinars and trading seminars and educational material. All that yours. $80 a month, guys. $80 a month. If you have any questions, as always, leave any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, and sarcastic remarks, as well as death threats in the comment section down below, or you can email us at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com or fill out the contact us form on the website, or just DM us in the Discord, man. We're very available. So thank you guys. Thank you, you wonderful people, for joining us today. I highly appreciate it. Again, thanks so much to everybody liking, subscribing, joining the Discord, man. You guys have been fantastic, guys. Sorry to cut it off short. Thank you guys for the new followers on, BTC does kind of look like a diamond bottom blockchain, actually. So So we'll pick this back up tomorrow, guys. Looking forward to it. Until then, you guys make sure you trade safe. And as always, peace out.